little kittens. She did really good. She sang the cutest song of her people ever on the way there. On the way back, she mostly just chilled and groomed herself. Miss Kelly, that's kind of rude. And she's like, pointing is kind of rude too. Okay, I got their intake paperwork here. Let's see what we got. First, see Miss Red is here. And Mr. Green. Okay, they've received their first round of vaccinations. Ooh, we got a purr. Okay, the calico is officially female. If it looks like I got all the sexes right. 4 girls, 1 boy. You like that, huh, Mr. Green? Now, naming contest deadline is in 24 hours, noon tomorrow. So if you want to get in your chance or get in an extra chance, hey, Miss Tangy, be nice. See below the video for the link with instructions. Each entry is $5, and that money goes towards taking care of these kittens. And if you guys go crazy on buying entries, that money will go towards taking care of other kittens too. Lots of purrs. Slow blink. When she's a little shy, I try not to make eye contact. Ain't do nothing. He's purring. Based on their behaviors, these kittens, both litters, were born to a family pet, and they are used to seeing people around, but they have not been interacted with or socialized. So that's what I'm working on. Mr. Green likes the ear rubs. Miss Tangie's a growly one, but she's mostly all bark and no bite. Good job, little man. Both Technicolor kitties are very growly. She did really good with her blood draw, even though she has tiny veins. So if you got tiny veins and had to have blood drawn, you know what that's like. They tried her hind leg, couldn't get any, so they had to go to the front leg. She's a very easy purr. Miss Callie seems to have accepted Miss Violet. one thing I'm doing is visiting to socialize, but I'm also not visiting so that they can socialize with each other. Got two litters being mixed together. Okay, I'm going to be doing Q&A now. If you want to make sure that I see your question, you'll want to type in the ampersand, or the at, not the ampersand, the at sign, and foster dad John in proper case. Easy way to do it on a computer is just type ampersand, or the and sign, FO, and then pick from the drop down. The phone will only highlight it if the name matches exactly. Letter for letter, case for case. And before I start, thank you, Poppy, for CCing. Thank all the CCers. Jason asked, how does it feel with the new kittens? Not sure I follow your question, but it feels good. I like socializing under-socialized kittens, as well as raising them from birth. I forgot to ask, question was asked, when does blood work come back, or results? I forgot to ask how long it takes, probably a few days. Oh, that was misread, sorry. I thought you were Miss Violet. Already going a little bit easier. Miss Floofy Butts, Mr. Floofy Butts, asked, when kittens are available, how do I decide? Typically I don't. With these guys, well, typically I don't, but sometimes I have the option of picking between multiple litters. When she called about these, she told me about all the different litters, how many were in them. And I picked initially I picked the monochrome kittens because they had the largest litter. Save as many kittens as I can, that sort of thing. But I also said if it was another litter that was healthy and about the same age, I would take them too. And that's these two. And have I ever turned down kittens before? It's rare, but I have. Like there's, if I had something going on that prevented me from picking up a litter, then I would have to turn it down. Maybe get behind on chat because I want to give time for the CCers to keep up. Who's he fluffy butt? MJ asked if I'll be introducing wet food or keep it on dry food. I plan on giving them some wet food later today. Primarily to let Miss Violet relax a little bit after her trip to the vet. I have not heard how Gaia is doing. I need to call her, but usually what happens is that once I leave here, it just exits my mind. And that's usually how my mind works. It's very annoying, but that's how it is. It's a result of a nasty concussion I had from a car accident. I was a passenger in back in '97. Not just old age, though that probably plays a factor now. There was no other kittens in these 2 litters. But there were 2 other litters that came up with them, but they were sick. And I think they have 7 more litters coming up next weekend. That's one reason why I like working with Purrfect Pals, because they also work with shelters, kill shelters across the state. So if there's any cat or kitten that comes to a kill shelter that has every possibility of getting adopted, if Purrfect Pals has a room, they will take the cat or kitten. The Everett Animal Shelter is a city shelter who has to take the cats and dogs that people bring them. Did not have to put down any adoptable cat last year through efforts of shelters like Purrfect Pals. Miss Tangi's playing with the spring on the fence. Yeah, Tangi does seem to be a little bit more of an alpha type, but she could be just a hissy type too. I don't really see too much alphaness out of her. She's just very outgoing. She's a very playful kitten who's also seems to be a bit of a hisspot. And good job with that dismount. That was one of the more difficult ones too. This group will be here at a minimum until they have all been neutered and spayed. But I'm gonna push to have these guys probably, fully socialized before they get adopted. Ultimately, it's up to the shelter to decide, but they do listen to me. I'm already making really good progress. So at a minimum, they'll be here for probably 3 weeks. Maximum, maybe 6. Sorry, Anginess. I won't be going to the European Kitten Camp Con. I would like to, but good girl. She's having a wee. Meg's Mug asks, why do I think the monochromes are so much shyer? Just from interacting with them. The other kittens, our Technicolor kittens, would come right up to me. They just didn't want to be touched. These guys are a little bit more reserved, but they're relaxing quickly. Plus, their paperwork says shy. Not really. I'm not gonna pick up Miss Callie and get close to the cam. She'll probably do that all on her own though. Although if I happen to be standing up and she allows me to handle her, then probably. Oh, look at that. That was good. Hi, Miss Red. See, Miss Red wouldn't come out from underneath the bookcase yesterday when I was in here. And look at this. Jersey Cat asks if I could use any hurricane name without regards to criteria. Which one would I choose? Honestly, I don't know. I look at the names, but I haven't looked at them to pick out any because that's not what I'm going to be doing. Though I do have I must approve any name that the winners pick. Yeah, see a kitten head sticking out there, kitten butt sticking out over there on the Mewtwo, which you can't see. Yeah, Miss Tangy is just a growly cat. She's dramatic. She's a little actress. Bertez asked questions about my short-term memory. My long-term memory is fine. I don't forget my past fosters. It's just that my mental. Okay, think of it this way. My mental post-it pad is out of stickers. Memories have event-based triggers. For example, you would tell yourself, I need to go to the store to get this. or I need to go downstairs to get that, or when I get to work I need to do this. And event-based triggers happens because in your mind you set a little bookmark to bring up this memory when this event happens. That doesn't work for me anymore. After that accident, I lost that ability. As long as I have visual of whatever I need to do, then that's not a problem. It's like when I was getting the fecal this morning, I set the fecal down over there, I lowered the kitten, fecal was no longer in sight. I took the kitten out to the car, buckled the kitten in, and then all of a sudden remembered fecal. It's just as likely I could have made it all the way to the shelter and then go, crap. Literally. Well, not literally. Figuratively. Mr. Foofy Butts, no, I did not see your post. Neely T asks, how many litters have I had at once? 2? The 2 litters here, the AI fosters was 2 litters combined. Hal was Gladys's actual kitten, and there was another kitten, another litter that had, I think, 8 or 9, that Mama was overwhelmed. So we decided to see if Gladys would take 3 of her kittens. Connie still had Gladys and Hal at the time, and she set down the carrier, opened it. Gladys came, one of the kittens mewed. Gladys came over and was like, oh, there you are. Picked them up one by one, brought them over to Hal's spot, and took care of them ever since. No issues whatsoever. I want to fly overseas to European Kitten Camp Con. I really do. But I have anxiety issues that keep me from being away from my cats and fosters and all that for extended periods of time. And even if Chris was here, even if I had kitten sitters, or kitty sitters, it doesn't change the anxiety. I'm working on it, but it is what it is. Just going down to the fur ball for Sarah's shelter for just a weekend was hard. And even flying, recently I flew down to Alabama on Friday morning, left Friday morning, came back 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. Sunday, so 48 hours, and that was hard. Beautiful. She's gonna be a love. Wanna give me more head boops? She climbed up my lap last night and gave me a head boop. Cross your fingers that her feline leukemia serum test comes back negative. If it's positive, she will be separated from the litters, and she'll go to a different foster. But her snap test was a faint positive, which means that either it was a false positive because everybody else was negative, or that she has been exposed. And that could happen by another cat that has leukemia bathing her and then she grooming herself. Kittens and cats can shed leukemia completely as long as the virus does not take hold in their, I forget the word, but take hold in their bones. Q&A has been temporarily postponed due to adorableness. I'll still get to your questions, but I get to pet her. Neo of the Fabulous Fosters had to be separated because his serum came back strong positive. Even though that actually proved to be beneficial for him, because he was semi-feral, very strong feral tendencies, but once he was isolated from his siblings, he actually tamed very quickly. She's purring in the tube and it's picking it up and amplifying. Too cute. See, that's why I like working with under-socialized and feral kittens. Because when you make that breakthrough, it feels so damn good. Oh crap. Lost my position. Johanna asked if Mr. Kugra will be, or Uncle Kugra will be visiting the kittens. Yes, he will. Once the kittens have been completely cleared of any bugs and stuff. I took a fecal test up to be tested. If that comes back negative, hi Miss Red. It's okay, it's okay. See? Nobody's getting eaten. Miss Violet was like, you can pet me. Autumn Sky asks if I'm pleased at how well they adjusted so far. Yes, I am. I'm very happy. Those two will be a little bit more work, but I'm making progress with the monochrome ones. Good progress. Mr. Green is falling asleep on the shelf over there. Okay, Vardas asked several questions. First one was, how did I get to be a foster dad? Well, a friend of mine had kittens about 5 years before I started fostering, and I fostered those, and I got fostering in my blood. And 5 years later, I decided to scratch that itch and contacted Purrfect Pals to see what I needed to do to become a foster parent. And 56 litters later, well, not all litters, there were some adults. It's okay, see? Non-scary face. Doing a slow blink and closing your eyes as well can help relax a kitty. They see your eyes close, and closed eyes is a sign of being relaxed, non-threatening. There we go. She just slow blinked me. Or falling asleep, one of the two. She's falling asleep. Hi, Miss Kelly. You gonna wake her up? Setting up the room properly, how did I do that? Well, first I emptied it, then I put it in a kennel, the kennel cage. And then I bought some smallish towers and worked my way up from there. Miss Violet. Ooh, belly rubs. She's playing. When you work on socializing under socialized or scared, shy, feral kittens, you want to try to target or identify the one that is least shy or least feral and focus on them. For example, Miss Violet. If you can get one kitten to trust you, that can show the other kittens that it's okay. Especially if you can get them purring. And then they become your gateway kitten. The Fab Fosters was one litter, but they were split up because some of them tested positive for leukemia. Like the mama came, she tested positive, so they did the serum test, or faint positive on the snap. But when the serum test came back negative, I fought to get her back in here so that she could help me socialize the kittens. And in a large part, she did. That question was from Jean. Yeah, anxiety issues, there's no rhyme or reason for it. If you have not experienced bad anxiety, you really have no idea. Well, I guess the best way to describe anxiety to someone who does not have anxiety is picture a time where something scared you and you just wanted to get the F away. Anxiety. See, what happened at that point in time is that your fight or flight response kicked in and decided that for your own safety you need to move away. With anxiety, that same response is triggered for stupid reasons, but it doesn't make that reaction any less valid, except for there is nothing to fight, so the only thing left to them is to flee. Or having the strong urge to flee. And fighting that urge to flee is very difficult. Mr. Green is asleep. Well, he woke up with his name. But he was asleep with his eyes cracked. Yeah, if Miss Violet comes back positive, again the shelter will want to separate her into a different foster. And if she does not get adopted, there is a room at the shelter specifically for cats and kittens with leukemia. And that's where Neil went after he was done being socialized and fostered. And those cats and kittens are still up for adoption. They're adoptable, but if they don't get adopted, they'll live out their lives in Purrfect Pals. And the leukemia cats have a large outdoor fenced-in area where during the summer months, they can go outside and play in the grass and bless you, have fun. Oh, well, I just got to the point where I was CC'd. Oh crap, lost my position. So I'm a bit behind. I'm getting to everybody. I'll stop asking or answering Q&A and just pet kittens once I get caught up. that is daylight, Tori. It's a open window with a semi-transparent diffusing shower curtain over, so that it allows all the daylight to come in, but people outside can't see in. And it still allows kittens to look out. As a quick heads up, you have approximately 23 hours left to enter the naming contest for a chance to win naming rights for one of these kittens. There'll be 5 winners, and each one in the order that they were drawn will get to be able to pick a kitten and then pick a name. Hi, Miss Red. See below the video for instructions on how to do so. Billy Mouse asked if I had a good Father's Day and did I get what I wanted. Yes to both. My son got me an awesome gift. A screwdriver set with about 50 bajillion types of heads and styles. So I was like, yay, geek toy. I get to take stuff apart. Even when the manufacturer of that stuff doesn't want you to take it apart by using non-standard screws. She's stalking her sister. That's Miss Red. Miss Callie, leave your sister alone. She's pooping. I hope you finished. Looks like she did. Or as you're asking me how would I suggest to socialize them. I don't know the situation and the temperament of the kitten, so it's hard for me to say. But one thing, just the best way to get through a kitten's heart is through the stomach. Like I had some pharaohs in the past that I was able to socialize by spoon feeding them, where I would take a little bit of a wet food, a food that they really like, on a spoon, and then like reach over and slowly coax them closer and closer as they, they eat it there. And the next time, once I test their comfort levels to get them to come closer and closer to get to the food until I can, and with a goal of coaxing them on my lap to get the food. It's messy because they knock food everywhere, so have a towel on your lap or have a towel down. Doing, Miss Tangy? Are you getting your sister back for messing with you while you were pooping? Because she's pooping now. Oh, that does not sound good. That was liquid and it was running towards her leg. So I quickly brushed some litter over it. It ended with some decent poop though, or soft, but not liquidy. So that's good. Just don't step in it, don't step in it, don't step in it. Okay, there we go. Now I gotta sanitize again. If it starts out runny but ends less runny, that's actually improvement. The other way around, not so much. Hey, pretty girl. I don't think these kittens have much nourishment besides what their mama may have given them. They seem healthy, but their health may be pending because a really sick kitten looks healthy until they start getting a lot of healthy food. And the, oops, somebody dropped something over there. And their body suddenly gains the energy, or when the body gains the energy to fight it, that's just a stain, then they get sick. But they were sick all along. The body just didn't have the energy to do anything about it. I don't think that's the case here, but it's potential. No, Gordon, I really don't take much of a break between litters. The only time I've taken a break is when I had a break, and I broke my leg, or broke my arm. Well, there was one winter where I didn't have kittens for I think a month, and that was just because there wasn't any kittens available at the time. But if there's kittens that need rescuing and I have the means at that time, I will take them. Kittens or adults, whoever the shelter wants me to do. Though I have a secret, not so secret now, desire to foster a litter of Sphinx because I want to show people that they don't look, they're not ugly kittens. They look like every other kitten, sans fur. And I would also like to do a litter of mild CH kitties. Ones where they're perfectly functional, they just have balance issues, to raise awareness for them, for the condition. I don't have the means to do strong CH kittens. I think I'll make a post on Facebook, on my personal page, about anxiety, my experiences with them, and how to describe, basically, repeat what I said about how to describe it for people who don't have anxiety or have very weak anxiety. It's interesting, Jay Mallett. I haven't heard of anxiety causing those side effects. So the dizziness and the loss of eyesight could also be combined due to low blood pressure. I had that problem when I had a growth spurt growing up, and I actually passed out from it once. So that's something to keep in mind, and maybe something just raised with her, because she hasn't had her blood pressure checked. And I'm not a doctor. Anxiety may cause a blood pressure drop. I don't know. But dizziness and loss of eyesight due to low blood pressure is usually solved by sitting down or laying down. That's drama. The dark kittens are 8 weeks old. These two colorful scrappers are 7. And making good progress. Like I said, Miss Red here, when I was in here up until today, she would not come out from underneath the bookcase. And if she did come out, it usually would go right back under. And look at this. She still has that oh crap moment, but she's out and playing. And normally with kittens this age, I would not encourage them to play with my fingers, except these guys are hand shy, so I want them to not be afraid of my fingers. Like Miss Callie, she still does, I'm going to smack the crap out of that finger, because I don't know what it is. Well, I'm not sure about it. Silly girl. Yeah, the company that made these hammocks are out of business. There may be sites that still carry some of the stock still. I think this cost about $75, which, maybe that's why they're out of business, but it's high quality. It's good. It's a good product. Maybe not $75 worth good, but hey, look at that. Mr. Green went into the box on his own. So I will probably lay down a blanket once the heat wave is past. The rubber flooring is cooler for them. So Monday or Tuesday. This black thing here is actually originally served its purpose, or it came with a litter box. It's a step up and out of a litter box. It's designed, its intention is to catch the litter so it doesn't get tracked out. But my mom gave it to me because she wasn't going to use it, and it turned out to be a very great toy for kittens. It's called the HOD, or Hammock of Destiny. It's been here for many years. I'm still holding on. Andy Reeve asked, does it bother the kittens, or does it not bother the kittens to have the lights on all night? It does not bother them. And in fact, it's actually a lot darker in here than it looks like on cam. Well, at night anyway. If you look below the video, there is a list of links. Ooh, big scrapping going on. Get it! And there is a link to a video called a low light illustration. And you can see this comparison of the front cam compensating for the low light with an overhead shot that was not. And it will show you that it's actually very dim in here at night. Cats also do not have the same need, I forget what the sec was called, but the same need for light and dark phases. Kittens and cats sleep anywhere from 12 to 18 hours a day. And if it's during the daylight hours, they tend to seek out the sunbeams. You know, so take that for, you know, as for what it's worth. Yeah, as far as poop reports, if I'm in here and the kittens are pooping, you guys will get a poop report. The poop is a very good indication as to the current health state of a kitten. For example, Miss Kelly just squirted out her butt. So I'm going to be keeping a closer eye on her to make sure that doesn't get any worse. But she also had a little bit firmer poop at the very end of that. So that's improvement. I did take a fecal to be tested at the shelter. So if there's any parasites in the fecal, they will be treated for it. Okay, I'm pretty far behind, so I'm just going to skim over the text that doesn't have my name highlighted. A litter of goblins. Yes, Margaret, like Lita, having mild CH. I'm actually allergic to cats and kittens, and my allergies kick up every time I get a new set in until I build up a tolerance. And I think I'm hitting saturation now. It's like I have anxiety issues over bees. I've been able to overcome a lot of that. I'm talking a lot. But but still a little bit of an issue. At its worst, if I heard anything buzz and I did not see the source, I was gone. And it's like when I had a wasp in my bedroom, and Sabby was on the tower below where the wasp was hanging out on the ceiling. The thing about wasps, if you kill them, they release an enzyme that agitates everybody, all the other wasps nearby. So if possible, try to trap and release. But in this case, I had no means. I couldn't get them. I couldn't trap. So I had to kill the wasp before Sabby saw the wasp. I'm standing on the other side of the room. I want to run in every possible direction at the same time, except towards the wasp. And when I eventually went up to swat at the wasp, I quickly stepped out. I put on my biker jacket. I put on my biker helmet. I put on my biker gloves. And I grabbed a shoe and then I went after it. Anxiety is very hard to beat. And sometimes it takes wanting to save something that you love to get past it. But if you don't have that stronger desire to protect something, you may just freak out and just run the other way. And to someone who has no fear of bees, that is not logical to them, so they have a hard time comprehending it. So I try to share those experiences when I have them. Yeah, I recently had a cardiac stress test too, and that I didn't have to have the medicine for it, but I had to walk fast in place for as fast as I could, but I can't run because of my knee. Fortunately, my knee has been doing really well over the past couple weeks, and the past month, and hasn't been bothering me that much. And you would think that watching kittens is relaxing and stuff like that. Fostering kittens is not relaxing. It's a lot of work, and it's like you're always worried about them. And for a while there, I could not foster newborn kittens because my blood pressure was getting into the 180s, 190s from it. Ooh. You guys are such a trip. Jersey said that I probably post pictures and measurements of this. There may be patents on this though. This probably has a patent on it, which will make such things illegal. Well, maybe illegal to sell. Make your own. She's falling asleep. Ooh, there's a purr. When the kitten's tired and sleepy, if they'll let you pet them, that's the best time to get the pettings in. Mr. Green is still working on trust issues, but he's doing better. wants to go in his carrier. Go on, Mr. Green. I have no way of knowing how far back in shed I am. Yeah, wasp are dicks. Yep. They're the dicks of the animal kingdom. Glad it's the weekend. What got me over my anxiety of bees, the crippling anxiety, was I think 23. I was on a date, picnic bench. We had chicken. A wasp or a bee buzzed right here, and I about lost my crap. But I couldn't because she had no reaction whatsoever. So at that point, I noticed when I wanted to get anywhere. I wanted to be everywhere but there. And I noticed that, I'm trying to figure out a way to, solve this issue here. And I noticed the bee kept going around the chicken that we were eating. So I took a little bit of, a container that had some of the chicken bones on it and pushed it all the way to the other side of the table, and the bee followed. So after that point of overcoming that crippling anxiety, it became less crippling but not gone. Whoop, someone just ran into the water bowl. Miss Tangy. Her hind legs are wet. Both feet went in. You little dork. Do not go in the litter box. Yes, Susan, I am happy to have a calico. I would be in absolute heaven if I had a litter of calicos. Wendy Donner said that she stepped on a bee once. And I think that's how the phobia started, because I stepped on a bee when I was a child. No, Mr. Filthy Butts, I am not set up to foster puppies. I don't know how to foster puppies. And I think puppies are a lot more work than I'm able to dedicate. So, no puppies. Okay, I'm finally caught up on chat. So, I'm going to close chat. And just saw a message saying, "Ooh, visit." Boy, you came late because I'm about to leave. My allergies can't handle anymore. And my throat's dry. I'm going to cough because I've been talking a lot. But that's so cute. She's chasing her tail. Can I help? I'm actually allergic to cats and kittens. So whenever I get a new set of kittens, my allergies act up, and I have the benefit, or the fortunate benefit, of being able to build up a tolerance. So the more I interact with them, the more I can interact with them. She reached her saturation point. That was really good for Miss Red. And Mr. Green. Okay, I'm going to step out now, get some food, get something to drink. That's good right there. They're still working on their dismounts. I've thought about renaming this room the Merit School of Splat. In fact, if you go to the Brooke Ivy 3's channel, which is a link below the video, she should have Tally's link video posted there. Kelly graduates from the School of Splat, trying to dismount off the Enterprise onto the contact rings and kind of didn't. Alrighty, enjoy the kittens and have a wonderful day. I forgot to line up that blanket in the kennel to show black kittens easier. Oh well.